didn't turn the trade. Okay, the recorder's back on. We're long from 726, right out the gate, basically. And I'm going to follow the volatility stop up. And if this closes here right now, we're going to be into money management. I'm going to probably go to break even plus. I'll do that now. In case it flips around on me, I won't have a loss because it could flip in a bloody heartbeat. Okay, we're up over money management. I'm way above where they say I ought to be, but I don't care. We're running up towards target 2. Let's see if we can get a little higher than that. Okay, I decided to take it. I took it a little bit target 1. We normally out here in the mornings will get ourselves to, some sort of run up and then a pull back, and then it kind of dives down. So I wasn't gonna give it that much, although I was at break even plus. So, but I put a few shekels in the bank. We'll see if I did prematurely getting out. Let's see about that. The momentum oscillator is pointing up. The trend line's pointing up. So those are both positive. Okay. We are running into a little bit of resistance over here on the left, and we're having a little bit trouble with this 750 level. We pop over that, I think we'll get a run to 65 or so in a heartbeat. That's where you really like to have multiple contracts, 2 and multiples of 2, because what I could have done is I could have taken 1 at target 1, and then I have break even on the back end. Yeah, so trading 1 contract makes it somewhat more difficult. Trading 2 contracts makes a lot more risk. There's 751, 52, 53, 54. Yeah, let's see if we can get some follow through here. I'm going to minimize this Dow and look at, we're still in kind of Chop City here for the NASDAQ. It ran out of the box though. Didn't see a buy signal there or anything, but it ran up quite well at the open. Russell's still pretty good at the open. Not great, but pretty good. Okay, Dow's pulling back again. Here's where we would have been out at target 1 and having our stop here a little bit above break even. At some point we'll get to the point where we're not having this wacko volatility, and I can go to 2 contracts. Right now, I don't feel comfortable with that. See how we just dropped 20 Dow points in a heartbeat. Yeah. Not conducive to long life with a good heart. All right. So, $70 on that one. Not great. Where did I get filled? 39. And the Dow did that pullback. Really nice gentle pullback. It was would be a bit disconcerting if you were in there. The stop, volatility stop is down at 736 and 739 for the system computed. It sure looks like it wants to go up here to towards the 65 to 70 level. There it is. There's 62. And if I'd have had the cojones, I'd have been out at target 2 for 64. That would have been nice, but, did not have the cojones this morning. That's what happens when you have a day and a half to 2 days worth of losing trades. Psychology takes over. Probably not the smartest thing to let emotions take over, right? All right, we got up just within a couple of ticks of target 3, and it's pulling back. I think this move might be over because we're talking from 700 to 775. We had about a 75 Dow points, so we may go up here and retest the top again. I don't see any. The VIX is coming down. And David H., I'm going to count on you to help us watch the S&P E-minis, if you would, please. Cooperate and graduate. And, starting next week, let's go ahead and start at 9:25. We don't necessarily need all that extra time. We started originally at 15 and moved to 20. We don't seem to have a lot of new people with questions now, so let's go with that, and we will have less dead time. Okay, the Dow and all of them actually they're doing quite well. We've got another buy signal in the Russell, but it's extended on a momentum oscillator, so I'm not so sure about that puppy. The Dow long got taken out in this little dip down to 753. So it got up to almost target 3, and then it got stopped out at just above target 1. Well, the markets are trying to shrug off the trade war stuff. Now, the interesting part is that what got buried in this was the tirade that the Donald did at NATO yesterday. Took a deep poke at the Germans. I'm not impressed with that. Then again, we're talking politics. I'll stop. We need to get along with our friends, not make them enemies. Yeah, that's what all of these have. We didn't have a whole lot of overhead resistance here in the Dow. The reason I was stalking it is that this looked like a complete waterfall here trend. So there wasn't a lot to stop us from going back up and retesting that. That's why I was interested in that trade. The NASDAQ, come on here. It didn't have that waterfall. Well, I guess it did. It did, but it recovered a lot of it, so it wasn't sitting in as good solid trading position, in my opinion. Let's see, the Russell, from 8:30 it kind of chop, and then from the open we went up. So it wasn't in what I call a predictable mode. So let's see what happens from here. Oh dear. Get another buy signal here in the Dow.
Yes, Teresa, this is Julie Moody, one of your long-term care.
Good Good morning, Judy. This is Steve Reisner. Can, I'm all right. Can I give you Teresa's work number? She's moved now. This is our home number. No, no problem. It's 407 949 6722. You have a wonderful day. Bye bye. Sorry, I had to pick up the phone. It was one of my wife's clients. I had to help her out, give her real work number. She used to work from home, and a lot of people still call the home number because that's what they've got. They get locked into it. Okay, we're still kind of climbing that trend line on the Dow. Not the same for the NASDAQ and the Russell, so we definitely don't have a uniformity across the board here. So we'll see how it goes. If the other markets are weak, it will probably pull down the Dow. Russell, Russell looks like it's getting close to a short here. It's got that waterfall down here to the left. It was a nice run in the Russell. VIX is rising again. Okay, we have a shelf above 64.65, 72.65 on the NASDAQ. I'm not so sure about that with all this overhead resistance without a signal. And it's pulling back, NASDAQ. Okay. Thank you very much, Art. I appreciate cooperate and graduate. I know I say that a lot, but it's exactly true. Everybody, everybody needs to contribute something what they see because more eyes on the market, the better. We just got a sell signal in the Russell, but unfortunately, we're already well below that price. So, and I'm not sure I would have taken it anyway because of where it is in the cycle here. The VIX is still down from. Good morning, Ronaldo. Welcome to the Left Coaster. It is early, early, early for you. Looks like I'm probably going to have to go spend a few weeks in England helping my daughter move. I may end up having to shift the whole day. I'll be able to cover the mornings here definitely, and probably the afternoon. But I'm probably going to end up trading the middle of the night market type of thing. Okay, that Russell's still kind of weak. Oh, I just had something bleep at me and Striker. Sorry, I got distracted. Dow's pulling back. It's now in a slight downtrend. Russell gave another short signal here, but it's near the low of the day. And we're in Chop City on the NASDAQ. VIX is rising. Not surprising. Dow below the midpoint, 733. Could be a decent short. It did give that short early at 48. What's it got in there? Yeah, 41. Wow. One thing that the Dow did here that I did not notice because I was off on looking at other holdings. It gave a short signal, penetrated, did a bounce, and then came down again. That would possibly have been a good time to go short that second time through with all the other parameters set up. Missed it, but that's a really good setup. And now it's down to kind of a expecting a little bit of a bounce here. Yeah, here it comes. And we got another follow through here. See if it bounces up a little bit and see if we can. Don't. I said a little bit, guys. I mean, I don't mean that much. Come on. If it goes up over 55. I'm going to ignore this sell signal again. And it does have some room to the downside. but we're up at 50 now. Nah. The signal line looks like it's trying to flatten out.
Order pending.
All right, let's put ourselves in an order right there at 34 and see if it comes down and fills us. Probably scalp 20 ticks, maybe. If it gets up over 54, 55, I'm not gonna. 755, I'm gonna cancel the short trade. Right now, it's probably looking like it's gonna crap out anyway. The Nasdaq's in a rally mode, so we're just kind of flipping around. I think each one of the indices is on their own. Okay. As long as we don't go any higher than that 52 there, I'll take this one. I moved the entry to 733 to get 2 ticks below prior low at 35. Disconcerting a little bit that this signal line's flattening out. And momentum oscillator is looking okay. Trend line's not necessarily looking okay. The longer we stay around in here, the less enthralled I am with this. Okay.
Order
I'm
canceled.
canceling that. I'm not going to take it. We'll wait for the next setup. Yeah, and it moved up anyway. The Nasdaq's looking pretty darn good there, folks. Hey, Doug, thanks for joining us this morning. Was surprised to see him there. Nasdaq's in was in a pretty decent rally there. Probably about 3 or 4 ticks. 3 or 4 points there. Whoops! Don't move on me. And 25 ticks on the Nasdaq. It's okay. All right, 9:54. We have there was a report out at 10. I don't even care what it was. Okay, the Dow's kind of flopping around. Nasdaq is trying to maintain that trend upwards. The Russell's in chop mode. So the only one in a trend right now is the Nasdaq, and that's up. And the VIX is coming back a little bit. So that Nasdaq looks like it's still going. 76.25. I tell you what, this one candle that we're on right now, it's about 12 to 15 ticks in one candle. That's the problem with the Nasdaq. The volatility is there. So, all right, we're getting a green candle here in the Russell. Let's see, probably 1693.4, 1693.5. That's where I could probably go to. Dow's back in chop mode. Russell's also in chop mode, but it's trying to go into a trend. Nasdaq's still holding that trend, just. We did a Nasdaq flip-flop on the volatility stop. Let me get my indicators. Let me show you one thing here. It's going to get a bit busy on the screen here on the Dow. Let me put the indicators up. Chandelier stop. I'm going to show triangles. All right. The triangles show when we have a volatility flip, and when you start seeing volatility flips like this with no real movement, you're talking about chop. It's another way of identifying chop. We don't necessarily need those. Looks like we flipped over on the NASDAQ. Looks like the VIX might, yeah, this is weird. Now we did get this buy signal in the Russell. The momentum oscillator is good. The distance up there is good. Are we? Yeah, we're good to go. This is crazy. It's almost as if they're hopping from index to index. It looks like the NASDAQ was on it, then they got off. The Dow was going. They jumped off that bandwagon and jumped on the NASDAQ. And now it looks like they've jumped over to the Russell. I mean, it appears that way. I don't know that that's happening. But price is telling me that's what's happening. That is extremely strange. I've not seen that. Normally, most of the markets normally go in the same direction, roughly. Okay, still in chop mode in the Dow, getting out of it in Russell, and back in the chop mode in the NASDAQ. Let's see, we're looking at. Each one of these candles is about 10 ticks in the Russell, so you're talking 15 to 20 tick stop if you tried to jump on board right here. You'd have to have a stop down at 91.6 and you're at 93.6, so that would be 20 ticks, $100. But it would have been doable. I'm a bit concerned about all this stuff over to the left. I'm just going to be patient for a change. We're talking about 9:59. We're about ready to get our economic report. All right, Arnaldo. Well, David, I'm going to go over there and help my daughter move. Get into her new place. Not sure exactly what I can do. She's going to pay movers to move most of it. VIX is coming back down a little bit now. Well, we hit target 2 in that Russell long. Looks like it's going to hit target 3. This is the problem with having so many of these signals and whatever, although I really like the fact, I'm now looking back on it, that we've had a lot of waterfall and inverted waterfalls type things. So we hit target 3 on that one. Now, it didn't give that signal until this was completed, so it was already up there. So the Russell's looking pretty good. Oh yeah. And I haven't tried it yet. I've been kind of mentally watching it. How to get on board these things a little later. But we're using this volatility stop, or we could have probably gotten long above this candle, looking at what the reward is, looking at the risk. Use the volatility stop or a swing level as a stop level. Those would work. We're getting our flip-flop in the Dow. You can see that with the orange triangle that I'm going to take away. Nasdaq's running. Boy, how did that slip up on me? We got our breakout above 72.70, and we're running about 9 points. Nice. Swing that axe. Chop, chop. Dow's definitely in chop. The other two are not in chop now, David. But you're not sure we can. Excuse me. I hate Wednesdays. My wife gets me up at 6 a.m. I'm not quite ready for that. Yeah, don't think I could go long here, but these things are still strong, going high. Okay, we've got about 25 minutes before we're going to move on over to oil. Watch the inventory report. Hopefully we'll get a good trade there. Thank you, David. We've had some strange activity at night where we're getting news events that are causing us to get our moves earlier in the night. It's right after the reopen at 6 p.m. Whereas normally Asia would be the moving time. I don't really know whether it's worthwhile to have you guys come in here at night or what. I'm going to be here, so maybe just having the room open would be worthwhile. Last night, thank you for following me over to room 1. We had a conflict there, and I wasn't aware of it. I want to thank everybody for joining us here this morning. We've had one trade, small winner. Could have been a full winner if I'd have give it a little bit of room. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. It probably should have been. If I can get to free trades, I ought to do that. But here, that's the psychology coming. And looks like we're tacking the high of the day in the Russell. We do have a long on the Dow Zaruski, but I don't know that I'd like it. Pretty close to awfully close to the highs of the day. And we're really pretty close to chop. I would say the Russell would be stronger of the two. It's got the primary pivot above us at basically 1700. May try to make a run for it. Have to be patient. Will the markets make its run between 10:45 and 11 again? Will have those program trades come in? And in what direction? Thought about that last night. I will call them this afternoon and read them the riot act. Okie dokie. Nasdaq's come back to a swing level around 72.74. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a bounce there. That could curl right back up into a little mini J hook, but we've been down to this level before and couldn't break out to new highs, so it could just flip over to the downside. That's kind of what I was expecting. And we get back into resistance areas below. We'll have to see what happens. Below 72.73 looks fairly good for that one.
Order pending. Order filled.
Let's see if we can get out with a quick scalp here. Yeah, it's not a good, Steve. Not good at all. That wasn't very smart. Got premature on that one. I'm not gonna dive out on it right away, but premature. Yeah, let's close down there again, and then I can lower that stop. Okay. Okay, well, there's the buy sell signal. And we'll get the VIX rising just a little bit. That helped me a little bit. Okay. Come on. Get me down there, please. A little bit of follow-throughs. Mexican jumping beans here. And markets are going lower. VIX is rising a little bit. Have patience. Don't close it. The trend is down. The oscillator is down. Just follow the system. Okay. Okay. Tag me. Come on. Come on. Son of a gun. Come on. Don't do that. Yeah, it's because we've got stuff over to the left.
Order filled.
All right. I took money off the table. I don't like what I'm seeing. It's probably still going lower, but I probably should have just lowered it to target 1. Okay, got in too early, but got a winner. About $100, I guess. So, well, probably up 30 ticks today so far, so that's not so bad. That probably wasn't a bad time to take profit. I still think it rolls back over and goes lower, but you never know. You know, just take, what is it, the bird in the hand, 2 in the bush? What are you going to take? The volatility stop is right here at 71.5. You have the cojones to stay there. That's to see if it gets above 71.5 or it goes lower first. I'm thinking it goes to 71.5. There it just went to 71.5 and the volatility stop lowered itself, so probably didn't make the bad choice about getting out. Taking money we had, although at one point we had more. Okay. That's always the problem with one contract. So if I had 2 contracts, I could have taken one and let the other one ride. So, oh well. With this in the scrunched up mode, this trend line, which looks decent short, when you actually shrink it down the size, it doesn't look as well developed, but it is. I've got it over the chart off to the side. Okay, we just had a volatility flip to the upside, obviously, in the NASDAQ. We're still in chop in both the NASDAQ and the Dow. The Dow would be out of chop if it gets below the current levels here, but we have S1 at 715 below us, so how much credence do I put on those? Maybe too much? Interesting. I've got the Murray math levels on the Dow. It got down this level at 727 is right there on a 1/8 Murray math level. Interesting. And the pivot reverse 2/8 is right up here, just under about 766. Yeah, 766 is what it is. Very strange. Russell's in chop, and the Nasdaq's back in chop. And we really are in chop in the Dow as well. Okay, 10:15. Got another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, a little bit of a rally in the Dow, but it's still in chop. We get a long signal in the Russell, but really kind of concerned there about it would have to break out to new highs for the day, right? Yeah, and it looks like it's trying to push that way. I'm going to pass on this. I've already pushed my luck a couple of times. Okay, I'm probably not going to get into any of these trades that might appear before the crude report, so I'm going to take a couple of minutes break before that, and I'll be right back. Why are you jumping in there? Jiminy Christmas, guys. No. Couple minutes. And then I got to pull you right back in because I'm going to get into the break. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry I got to be waiting though. What's going on? For any Right Way Options members out there, there's a new trade posted to the website. There's actually two. He's looking at XLK and XLE. I'm not sure I'd want to get into XLE ahead of the oil report, but maybe afterwards. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. The Dow's moving. The markets look like they're going up a little bit, so that's a 25-minute call. Heads up. Okay, let's see where we can find crude. Crude's dropping quite a bit ahead of the report. Okay, I just kind of cleaned that one up a little bit. Well, I might have two of them in there. I do. Opening range for this oil is up a little higher than we are at the moment. All right, let's we got a little over 2 minutes to the report. Thank you, Art. Appreciate that. In fact, the Russell tagged its primary pivot as well already. Established self. It's a fairly nice uptrend there in the the 377 tick. Starting to get the Mexican jumping beans ahead of the report. Dow's moving up. Okay. And not quite the report yet. There it is. And we're off to the races to the upside. Okay, we're going to wait ourselves out to 2 minutes. Okay. Dow's moving up. Russell's moving up. So they must have been encouraged by that oil report, you know? Wow. Okay, we pulled back to S1. Looks like we're doing kind of a little bit of a bounce there in the oil. We're 40 seconds until we're allowed to trade. Looks like there's a little bit of a trend down. And what would happen if we got a little low? 55, what do you think? Got the stuff off to the left, but yeah, it's already going lower. I guess there's really nothing magic about 2 minutes. right, 2 minutes are up. So, it's kind of in chop at the moment. All right, there's the first trade signal. Oh, sure don't like that.
Order pending.
I'll put it up here at 22, which is at that prior swing level. I feel uncomfortable with it. I guess if you're not feeling uncomfortable, you're not really thinking about what you're doing, huh? Put it up to 73.81. It's over the swing and over a round number. If it runs away from me the other way, so be it. Doesn't look like it wants to go anywhere, does it? Was it last week or the week before that the oil moved and then it just basically went flatline for the next couple of hours? Crazy. You know, this is coming up with this very, very, very tight number. That usually means that it's not
Order
going to work.
canceled.
I'm going to cancel the oil trade there. I'm going to wait for a possible breakdown. Say below 50. There we go.
Order filled.
We had, just after I got in, it had a volatility flip. So we'll see.
Order filled.
Okay. Took 100 out of it, so I'm going to call it a day. Gotta get rid of this. Okay. Well, we got our money, thank goodness. All right. Let's take this aside. See what the markets are doing again. Let me minimize that puppy. Dow still in an uptrend. The Russell came back, and we're in chop at the Nasdaq. I mean, here we go again. We've got one bullish, one in chop, and one in a pullback mode. About to be in chop. I mean, and the VIX pulled back down to 1325. So I don't know. This is maybe getting a little bit too difficult. We're up a couple $100 today. Maybe we should. Maybe I should think. Yeah, they are disconnected. A bifurcated market. At least that's what I think is what that means. Now I've got myself curious. Bifurcated. Divide into two branches or forks. It could be trifurcated market. Okay, well, it is what it is there. It does say two parts. Okay, I wonder what XLE's doing. Okay, the Russell gave a short signal, but it was below that price, but it does look like it wants to go lower. But I don't know that I could do that right at this juncture. Does look like that short's trying to work. Well, oil got down to 73.14 after a bounce. We were 45, 35. It bounced and went lower, bounced and went lower. So it's just kind of bouncing around. Okay. I feel okay with that. NASDAQ is in a downtrend right now, folks, but I'm a little bit late to the party. Dow's back in chop, and we're starting to form a trend again also in the Russell. Russell has resistance, support and resistance lily off to the left. Resistance if we were trying to go short. Get a bounce in the NASDAQ. I'm just kind of thinking that we're going to be done for the morning. Let me see what that XLE is doing there, what Doug was talking about. Boy, I sure don't like that. He was talking what? September 73 calls. Well, I don't mind that. I'd want to see. Okay. I think XLE just did an island top. So I don't like that one. The other one was XLK. And I don't like the fact that it's a bit toppies here. So they may not be bad trades, but they're not where I would want them to be. I usually regret when I don't take Doug's trades, by the way. Dow did a nice pullback and it looks like it's trying to curl upwards. We're getting a bounce in the NAS and a bounce a little bit in the Russell maybe. No, no, no. Alrighty then. Oh, we having fun yet, folks? We got a little bit. We got a downtrend in both the Nasdaq and the Russell. Don't know how we can trade them right at the moment. With this Nasdaq, you may want to, if it can stop right about here and then rolls over, you can hold your nose, hold your nose, and set a stop about 20 ticks away. But shoot. and the Dow's coming back into chop mode. So that little rally in the markets was kind of short lived. While I was playing with that, we got another short signal in the Russell right here. It's 40:43, about 7 minutes ago. That wasn't a bad entry point, was it? We could talk ourselves out of things by looking to the left, but go with the signals. It was a little early. Second time down. Yep, market's heading south. Well, if you look at the bigger picture, we're kind of chopping around. They're bigger ranges and they're tradable for us, but they are just chop. Let me see if I can find a 15-minute chart somewhere. And you see how the ES, well, here we go. There's a 15-minute chart. Let's go look at, there's the S&P, that little spurt on the oil report, and we're giving it all back. Dow, giving it all back. NASDAQ, giving most of it back. It was doing fairly well ahead of the report anyway. And the NASDAQ and the Russell look stronger than the others, and they look the same. They look like the same. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to